If you want to get ahead of 99% of people, you have to be willing to do something that they are not. Every successful person was once a beginner just like you. The only thing that separated them and the 99% of people was that they really wanted to achieve their dreams. You might think that everyone would like to fulfill their dreams, and you will be correct. But the reason only the top 1% can do this is that they are willing to understand that all the responsibility lies on their shoulders, whether it be for their success or their failure. Since they know this, they are also aware that if they don't do something about it, their life is going to go down on the drain. So what is it that will make you different than the rest? Is it hard work? Sorry to say this, but hard work alone won't make you successful. Everyone in that tier is already working hard. But what will make you successful is a combination of your unfair advantages, consistency, patience, and your ability to take action. So to take the first step towards greatness in every aspect of your life, you have to take the full responsibility. Instead of blaming external factors for your mediocrity, focus on your goals and understand that everything that happens to you is a result of your own choices. The world is not fair and it never will be. But if you just sit there and complain about the unfairness of life, nothing will change. And you will still live your life with your old habits that will continue to pull you down till you become 80 and realize that you wasted your whole life without being able to chase your dreams because you were too busy to avoid the truth and too worried about what people might think of you. Even though the realization of these things will make you feel uncomfortable, it is still much better to understand it now rather than later. I always wanted to have a nice physique and a strong body. So I used to try to work out now and then to get the physique that I wanted. Especially in the quarantine, I used to go out with my brother to do some pull-ups and push-ups, but eventually I stopped going out and started to lay on my bed to watch some anime all day. After the pandemic ended, I realized that if I really wanted to achieve the physique that I wanted, I had to understand that no one else can do that for me, and that all the responsibility were on my shoulders. After coming to this realization, I got a membership at my local gym and started lifting and dieting consistently. And after months of hard work, I became a completely different person, both physically and mentally. Every single time that I think about not working out, I remind myself of the dreams of a little child from years ago. The road to success is never easy. It is always filled with difficulties that will make you want to quit. But as long as you keep reminding yourself of the goals that you set, you will always find a way to overcome those difficulties. Throughout life, we always compare ourselves with others and complain about the unfairness of it because of the differences between our lives, such as our economical situation or physical conditions. But if you want to be truly successful, you have to understand that everyone has an unfair advantage that could help you to become the best version of yourself. You might have an attractive face that would make others want to listen to you, or you might have a head start on your business because you had better startup capital than the average person. Even if you are coming from a poor background, that would mean you are more likely to be ambitious than the ones coming from a rich family. So the most important thing in this step is finding your own unfair advantages and using them to leverage your low road to success. Now that you took responsibility for your own life and have found your own unfair advantage, it is time for you to make a plan for your dreams. An action without any goal in mind is meaningless. You must first set up some goals for yourself and divide those goals to two parts, one of which is your ultimate goal, like hitting 1 million subscribers on YouTube or earning $1 million in 3 years. And then you will set some small goals that will help you eventually achieve your ultimate goal, like gaining 1,000 subscribers in 1 month or getting a job that will make you a few $1,000 a month so that you can start your own business. After having a plan on your mind, you should forget about your ultimate goal and completely focus on your first step that's ahead of you. It is also mentioned in one of my favorite books called Atomic Habits that you should not concentrate on the destination but only on the journey, so that with every step you take, you will eventually have what you desire. After planning the things that you have to do, the only thing left for you to do is to take action. Nothing you do will have any meaning if you don't take action for it. It doesn't matter if you realize the problem and plan for it if you don't have the desire to get going. This part will probably be the hardest step for 99% of people, but as I have said, if you want to be in the top 1%, you have to be willing to do something that others are not. Taking action is a really important skill in every aspect of your life. And yes, it is a skill that you earn, not something that you are born with. So to help you gain this skill, you should try having some small habits that will make you 1% better every day. As I have mentioned before, the book called Atomic Habits, just as its name indicates, you must have some small habits, like making your bed after you wake up, or reading 5 pages of a book every day. These small things will add up eventually to help you to gain the skill called taking action. And after gaining this skill, you will see a huge difference in your temperament and your daily life that will make you better in every aspect of your life. The last step you must take is for you to do it every day consistently and wait for the results by being patient. You cannot just do it once and be content with it. If you want to be truly successful, you have to have the grit to do it every other day. Even then, there are some people that would quit what they were doing after a year or two because they're not seeing any progress, not knowing that success is just behind their next step. You have to understand that every beautiful thing takes time. If you want to have a beautiful garden, you have to plant the necessary seeds and water it every day, and then you have to wait while doing all of this. Even though the journey may seem boring at first, you will eventually start loving the progress. And the moments you start to enjoy it is the moment that I can say that you basically got it. Because one of the most important things in being able to be consistent and to be patient is for you to enjoy the work itself. At that time, it does not matter whether you face difficulties or some problems along the way, because you will just try to overcome them to continue what you are doing since you love the work itself. And that is the best aspect you could have to endure the hardships and to not give up. Even now, I still have some problems to stay consistent on the things that I want to do, YouTube or the gym for example. But what I do is I just try to give my best that day. If I'm only able to give 40% of myself, I give 40%. That does not mean I worked less or something. It just means I did what I was able to do. So don't think that if you can't do it perfectly, you're better off doing nothing. No, you should always try to get at least 1% better every day. That will put you ahead of 99% of the people eventually. Now that you applied these tactics, you cannot just sit back and wish to get magically better. You have to give yourself constant feedback, because whatever you do will never be perfect or too good that it cannot be improved. You can always get better. If the thing that you're doing is not working, it's simply because you are doing something wrong. So you should reflect on yourself and try to find what the problem is and what can solve this problem. There will be people around you to say that you should give up already because what you're doing is not working, blah blah. Never listen to them. But always remember that the only reason you're not seeing any progress is you're probably doing something wrong. So as long as you fix it and improve your skills, you will be successful. So one of the most important things is for you to get feedback and to reflect on yourself. By completing these 6 steps, you can have a life that is ahead of 99% of people.